Hi, Deirdre Vervo here. Thank you for joining us, and let's talk seniors, memory care issues, Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's. It is a great honor today that I have a very exceptional woman, since this week is International Women's Day week. You'll be meeting her in a minute. Before I bring her on, I did want to tell you that I have been honored by being in a book called 50 Life Lessons, Women Who Push the Limits, 50 Life Lessons. Author Lynn Murphy wrote this book, and I was honored to be interviewed for it. So it's fun. I loved it. I didn't know I was so inspiring, so I'm very honored to be in the book. Today, we have a lady who is awesomely inspiring. Her name is Michelle, and she has started a volunteer business for seniors, and you're going to hear all about it. So she graduated from UConn in 1998 with her BS from physical therapy. And she worked as a physical therapist for 8 years. And she developed a passion for writing, as well as a passion for raising her two lovely boys, Oliver and Finnegan. She's written 2 kids' books. She's been a physical therapist, and now she started an amazing business called Your Community Cares. And without much further ado, let me bring on Michelle Puzzo, and she could tell you all about herself. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for starting this Your Community Cares to make the communities better, enrich lives of seniors and people that do the volunteering. But before we get started, tell us a little bit about just what is Your Community Cares. We'll start there.
We are an online platform to better connect communities so that those people that need help within a community can sign up, and they can connect with volunteers in their own community that want to help them with chores that allow them to stay independent at home.
So how does the senior find out? And is it only for seniors?
No, it's for any adult over the age of 18 that has a physical disability of some sort, or any older adult. So if you fell down tomorrow and broke your ankle, you would be considered temporarily disabled. So you would qualify. If you had a stroke and you were 40, you would qualify. You would have a permanent disability, or you're over the age of 70, you would qualify. So we have really those 3 buckets of temporarily disabled, because as a physical therapist, I saw people had all different types of reasons that they needed help at home. So I wanted to be all inclusive to better serve all demographics in these communities.
So what would you do? So actually last summer I missed one step and sprained both ankles, and I couldn't drive. I had to hire a kid to drive me around a few hours a day, when I need to go somewhere, and then wait in the car and have them do my errands. What kind of things do you help people do?
So first of all, volunteers and those people that need the help, the community members, they go to our website and they sign up. We do a background check on everybody to make sure it's as safe as possible as these people are connecting to one another. So they sign up, then they get approved through the background check. They're going to then log into their account, and they can see what volunteer opportunities. But the volunteer, when they sign up, they select the categories that they're interested in. So if they only want to do transportation for people like you that might have had an injury and they only want to bring them to medical appointments, then they pick the category. It's either transportation, housework, or companionship. So there's quite a few categories that volunteers can get involved with.
That's amazing. So is the website yourcommunitycares.org?
Yep, yourcommunitycares.org. And we decided to name it this unusual name because we feel that the U represents you as an individual. The R is the word R. So you are your community. So without you And without me, it doesn't make up a community. So we wanted to make technology that would really help benefit all communities.
Oh, that's sweet. That's a great way to name it. So if people go on this site, they could be that specific about how they want to volunteer. They could say, I want to drive, I want to cook, I want to clean, I want to read, I want to be a companion.
Yeah,
And
we really have made the website be efficient and convenient for volunteers. So they pick the category, so they're only going to get emails based on the categories that they've picked, and then they select those volunteer opportunities that fit their schedule. So if they only want to do, if say they have Tuesdays off, or we have chefs and they only have Mondays off or Sundays, they can pick the days that they want to volunteer. So it's very efficient, and they can just volunteer within their own community. They don't have to travel, an hour to do volunteer work. They can do it right in their own community.
so first the volunteer goes online and then you vet them.
Mm-hmm.
And after you vet them and do like background checks and all, then you allow them to go on your site and choose like which things they're going to want to do. Do you match them up, or is there a list of needs and they're like, I'll take this need, I'll take that need?
Yep, there's a list of needs within their portal. So then they will pick and choose which ones they want.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
fun.
first come, first serve. So that if there's, sometimes I'm getting emails from volunteers like, oh, I signed in and there's nothing there. It's because, we're getting more and more volunteers. We have over 500 volunteers now. So
Wow.
we a lot of people that are looking to do good and use this technology for the good. And we're really, I got an email today from one of our community members, and she said, I'm just so thankful for your community cares, where she's just feeling such a benefit from having people, one, come and help her with housework, two, drive her to church every week, and three, have a companion. So
That's
one
nice.
community member can use it 3 times a week in different ways. And they don't have to pay anything. All of this is all free because we're receiving so many grants across the state, which allows us to keep this free for users.
Wow. So now, how are you getting your users or seniors, or how are people knowing? Are you going to senior centers? How are you getting the word out?
Yeah, so a lot of referrals are from human service departments, senior centers, but a lot of healthcare organizations as well, because insurance companies, once they discharge a patient from a skilled nursing facility or a hospital, because they're really the drivers of, how long people can stay in the hospital, or the rehabs. And once they discharge them, then the patient calls them and says, hey, I'm home and now I need more help, but I can't pay for it. So then they're looking for resources for those members. And a lot of times they'll be calling us because we are a statewide opportunity to help people.
So are you nonprofit?
Yes, we're a 501c3, which means any donations that individuals want to give are a tax deduction.
That is amazing. And you started this in 2019. So you started this basically right before COVID.
Yes, I was actually a physical therapist for over 20 years. So during that time when I was going into people's houses, I was more and more frustrated that there was less resources for them. They didn't qualify for a state program because they didn't fill out the paperwork. They had a 25-page application and they had to go to the bank and get
Oh
5
my
years.
goodness.
It's a lot for some people. So when I went to their house for physical therapy, I was helping them with daily activities of daily life, we call them. So it was less doing physical therapy and helping them to manage staying independent at home. And I realized there must be a way that I could better connect people within their own neighborhood. People that wanted to help them take out the trash or change a light bulb or do the laundry. And so that's why I started Your Community Cares.
I love it. I
It's
love it.
really,
And so during COVID, did you have a lot of volunteers going to help seniors? I'd imagine that was a perfect time.
it really was. We've had a real, it was sort of like we were in the right place at the right time. Unfortunately, COVID made people realize to be better connected. And I really started this setting us up for the next 10 to 20 years of being able to grow nationwide. But within COVID times, we were limited with fundraising, and the whole world changed. So we were just focusing on Connecticut right now and really getting the footprint across Connecticut to be able to better get integrated in all counties. But COVID, starting a business 6 months before COVID, had many challenges, but it also allowed us to adapt our platform to better serve communities. So we actually added quite a few features of the website to better serve communities.
Like what?
So we created partner accounts. So when we first started the organization, we had only individuals. So you as an individual, you could sign up to volunteer, or you could sign up as a community member that needed help. Now we have partners, so that any senior center can sign up people that don't have access to the internet. So we saw during COVID that those people, that inequity that we saw, that people didn't have access to the internet or couldn't pay for, the broadband. So things have changed. So we added the partners. So now social workers, senior centers, high schools now can sign up a group of students to go together. So partner accounts was one addition, and then we added transportation during COVID as well, because we realized people needed more access to transportation. So those are a few of the features that we've added over the last
Well,
few years.
I know it's interesting how COVID can make or break a business, but if you look at the positive for your business, Michelle, it sounds like I think during the last 2 years, people have realized how hard it has been on seniors. I mean, first they're so fragile with COVID, but also they're homebound and they couldn't go anywhere, and just how tough that is for everybody. But seniors, it was really hit hard. So I think people wanted to help them.
Absolutely. And we know that health outcomes are directly affected by lack of internet. So these people that don't know about all the resources, I went to a senior center yesterday talking about for the, blind resources, deaf resources, all these types of disabilities. It's challenging for some of these people to then Google every type of device that they could possibly benefit from. So we're also trying to be a resource, as my medical background has allowed me to be able to connect people to, if they need medical devices or whatever it is, I try to help people the best way I can to make sure that they're staying independent at home.
Wow.
Their
So,
goal.
and your goal is to make this a national organization.
Yes, my goal is this is a national problem. We have 10,000 people turning 65 every day. So in the next 10 to 20 years, every neighborhood is going to be affected. We've seen what COVID has done to neighborhoods. People are not going into institutions, they're staying home. They're now not going to be able to climb the stairs as well. It's a trickle down effect of how are these towns going to prepare for this aging population boom. And we'd like to be, one of those solutions to help neighborhoods get better connected and support one another.
That is an amazing organization. I think so many great things have sprung up out of COVID and the necessity for change, and helping the aging is paramount. I mean, they are kind of the forgotten ones in so many instances, and when they just can't get out or can't get help, they just don't do.
Yep.
And then, yeah,
They get frustrated, and they kind of, some of them aren't ready to face that they're having these issues, and so they're kind of putting off. So like I was saying yesterday at the senior center, I think having the discussion that it's okay to recognize that you need help, and there are so many resources, you have to start somewhere. And so asking for help can be challenging for many people that they've always taken care of other people. They're clinging to their independence. They want to stay home. They don't want anyone to say you can't drive anymore, which means now they're, totally reliant on someone else. So I understand there's a lot of challenges of people clinging to their independence, and we're just another way to help support people.
And you know what we've seen, Michelle, like in our senior residential home, is that family members have come to us and said, "Wow, I haven't seen my parent in a year because of COVID, and wow, they've really gone regressed. And I didn't know the dementia was so bad, and I didn't know, that they couldn't walk and they weren't eating properly, and because you're not on top of it."
Yep.
So I think so many things have come like to light, and so many needs have come to light with this. To help you grow, are you looking for committee members or people nationally, or how? What do you need to help you grow? What
So
or
right
who?
now,
What resources are you looking for?
so right now, yeah, we just hit year 3, so we're proud of that. That we're continuing to grow the board, and now we want to introduce committees. So we have a variety of different chair positions in the committee, looking for governance, someone in healthcare, technology, fundraising, all these different volunteer coordinator. There's just so many positions as a startup technology company. That's really, we're a nonprofit, but we're really a technology software kind of company. And it's an innovative approach to, trying to solve a community problem. So it's community technology. We're handing this over to the community and saying, use our platform to better connect your residents. And that will only improve your outcomes of your residents. As more and more towns are putting things online, people have to sign up online. They have to print out applications. They're having to do all these things so volunteers can go and help them teach technology, things like that. But that's where board chairs, joining the board, and then, unsolicited donations that don't have to be classified in one particular category would allow us to start to use some of that funding for staff,
Hmm.
because we're 100% volunteer at this time.
Oh, Michelle, that's incredible. I mean, you did share with me that for 20 years you're a physical therapist, and that's pretty good money. And now for the last 3 years, this is your labor of love and your passion, but you haven't gotten paid a penny. So you have been the number one volunteer for the third year in a row.
Yeah.
So I really, I trust you're going to get it up and running. I know you will, and get all the members and committee members and funding you need to make this really something great for the community and nationally. But also, it is not easy to run a business with people who don't get paid, because you can't do that forever, right? So it's very important that you get funding and people understand that. Even though you want to give all your funding to the community, you do need to eat yourself. So I that's an amazing thing you're doing, and a real speaks to your heart.
Yeah. Well, it this is uh, we have about 500 volunteers so far, and we have about just about 500 community members. So we know the need exists. We know that, this is a proven model in Connecticut, and most nonprofits, when you go to a community foundation, they usually start to talk to you at about year 5. And so we've been very successful in 2 to 3 years of growing because of these community foundations. And so we're just so grateful for their support, as we weren't able to go out and do that fundraising.
So, what are some of the ways that your volunteers will help seniors?
So on almost a daily basis, they're driving them to medical appointments, or, once in a while, somebody just wants to get their hair done. So transportation is a big one. Other people want their refrigerator cleaned out. Other people want technology assistance because they got a new device, and they don't know how to use it. Or we have a lot of low vision and blind residents as well, and they're looking for some additional help cleaning around the house or taking out the trash. It could be any types of chores at home. Sometimes around the holidays, people are asking to decorate. Other people are asking to write out cards.
Will they
Um,
help write checks and pay your bills and things?
yep, yep. It's really whatever. So yeah, so we had a volunteer. Actually, she's a local high school principal, and she was volunteering for someone that was asking for help with his bills because it was harder and harder for him to write out the checks and look at the bills. And so as she was doing that, she came to me and said, this person, I think, needs more assistance than just a volunteer. And so then she went to the family and was able to connect with the family, and he did get placed in an assisted living because he had other needs. So it's great that the volunteers are recognizing this person needs help beyond what I can give them, and then we're then reaching out to the family and trying to
Does that help off? Does that happen often?
It's happened a few times. Yep, it's happened a few times. So
That's kind of like the beauty of Meals on Wheels, right? Same kind of thing. Like my dad used to do Meals on Wheels, and if the person didn't answer the door, you would call the police, and something could have happened to them, and see if they need more assistance, as you've been going there for years. So they encourage that you report on any more help that the person needs. So that's a fantastic aspect of it.
Yeah,
we do added bonus
too. Yeah, if somebody has an appointment with someone and then they don't show up, then they will usually call the police and have them do a wellness check. And we have found people that have fallen and are on the floor.
Wow.
Wow. There's all kinds of checks and balances. We also do once these appointments are done, the person goes in and completes this form and basically just gives a rating and a testimonial. So we'll be able to see on the back end if there was any concerns, or everybody's just kind of praising the volunteers and is so happy that they're finally getting some help. So it's really rewarding to watch.
And do you ever get the volunteers together?
We haven't yet because of COVID, and also because of funding. We would just love a business that would want to be a corporate business that wanted to do donations to cover the cost of T-shirts and badges and a volunteer party once in a while. All of these things.
Would be great. That would be great.
Little things that a volunteer coordinator could put together for us.
Wow, that would be fun.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to get those people very soon.
Yeah, we're excited that we're in almost 125 towns across the state at this point. So we are slowly growing across the state, and at year 3, things are going well. So thank you so much for having me today.
Michelle, you are amazing. Like doing just this is big. This is really big, and you're going to go national very soon. And just that you went statewide and you didn't just stick with your Manchester community.
Well, and I think people don't realize, this is a volunteer effort. If we actually had staff and would be able to, having an efficient, lean system is what we've put in place, and having the website be the driver of managing all of this is why we've invested in the technology of the website. And we're working on a huge project with Infosys, which is a huge website company. Infosys is doing a pro bono project for us, redesigning parts of our website. So that will be launching in the next couple of months, and that's really going to add some additional features for our users. So we're really excited for them to team up with us.
Well, if you want to be a volunteer, just go to urcommunitycares.org. If you'd like to be a committee member, be considered as a committee member, or for a committee membership, please contact Michelle Puzzo at 860-430-4557. You're the person to contact, right, Michelle?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. And if you have a senior or anybody with a temporary disability that's an adult, please go on the site and sign up for your needs. I think it's amazing. I was driving an hour to bring my mom groceries in New York. Like, I would have loved there to be something over there, for her during COVID. So you're doing an amazing job. And I know you're doing it from the bottom of the top of your heart. And pretty soon you'll have a whole board and you'll be national. And I could say I knew you when. So I'm very proud to know you now. Well, thank you so much, Michelle. Do come on again so we could hear all about your progress and anything else you need. And we're very happy to have you.
Great. Thank you. Definitely.
Thank you. Bye-bye now. Michelle started this 2019 from a germ of an idea that she had in her head that people needed care. And now she's made it into a statewide business. like almost as a one-man show, one-woman show, and with her 500 volunteers behind her. But now she really does need help to grow it bigger. So anybody that wants to be on the committee or help in any way, any resources for fundraising, governance, treasurer, marketing, if you're a corporation that wants to make this your thing, she is very happy to entertain all ideas. So please get in touch with Michelle. She's amazing. Wow, that's inspirational for our International Women's Week. We had a very inspirational woman, which is so nice. So thank you, Michelle. And for all of you, I want to tell you some good news. I have, the one residential assisted living Dogwood Home, just like Home's Dogwood Home, up and running, full with a long waiting list, and have just been wanting to service the community in a bigger way, serve the community in a bigger way. And we just got our next home under contract. So hopefully that'll be rolling out in a few months, and looking for another one. So if anybody has a home in Shelton, a nice ranch home, it doesn't have to be nice, just a big ranch home. It could be actually not nice because I'm going to take it all apart and make it beautiful. Just contact me if you have a ranch house in Shelton and you want to do something wonderful for the community. Of course, I don't mean donate it. It will be paid for. I'd love to hear from you. So until then, I thank you all, and I will see you very soon.
Hi, Deirdre here again. Thank you for joining me on Let's Talk Seniors Memory Care Issues. Is this an issue hitting home? Do you have a parent or loved one with memory care issues who feels not safe at home anymore? Are isolation, falls, and safety issues becoming a big concern? Welcome to Dogwood Senior Home, premier boutique residential senior living specializing in memory care. It's country living at its best in the Huntington section of Shelton, Connecticut. Senior residential homes are concepts sweeping the nation with 47,000 across the U.S. We're pleased to open Dogwood Senior Home as it will be only number 6 for Connecticut. Brand new, sparkling clean, and safe. We are COVID-free. Residential care homes boast a very low COVID infection rate across the nation. This is due to the intimacy of size and speed in which the caretakers can shift to accommodate immediate needs. They are much safer than the large homes and facilities, as you can imagine. It has been documented that residents have less falls and a better quality of life in a residential home environment. Our home is more affordable than the big box facility. You pay one all-inclusive price, and that price is guaranteed for the life of the resident. With an incredible 1-to-3 caregiver ratio, which you won't find anywhere else. Our friendly, loving caregivers are dedicated and trained in Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson issues. Call me at 203-689-7562 for a talk and tour. I would love to meet you and your loved one. See you soon. Bye.